If you're going to go at a legend, you better not miss. As we know, Angel Reese come out this week. She absolutely crushed her own teammates into the dust. And she even decided to go after a legend. The legendary Courtney Vandersloot, who, of course, blew out her ACL at the beginning of the season. And she is in the midst of making a comeback. And, of course, Angel Reese made some comments that were none too kind to a legend. Angel Reese will be lucky if she has a third of the career. Angel will not have the career that Courtney Vandersloot has had. She won't. You know why? Because I don't think the league's going to tolerate her long enough. She's going to run her mouth until she just ends up jumping from team to team until she does what I think she should do right now.
It's over. That whole Sky Barbie thing, that thing is over. Angel Reese is done in Chicago. They're going to move on. They have to. With what Courtney Vandersloot just came back and said, Courtney Vandersloot just smoked Angel Reese. And you know who else is going in on Angel Reese? You got Nightcap with Unc and Ocho, Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson going in on this Angel Reese situation. She didn't think it was going to go this way.
Courtney Vandersloot didn't just speak her mind. She came swinging, and it wasn't subtle at all. When a 5-time All-Star and 2-time WNBA champion takes direct shots at Angel Reese, you know the situation has spiraled out of control. Reese, who entered the league as a lightning rod for drama, just can't seem to stay out of controversy, and this clash is proof that her antics have finally caught up to her. From LSU chaos to WNBA headlines, Reese has been branded as the face of turmoil. She's never shied away from the storm. In fact, she's thrived off it, building her name by stirring tension and refusing to back down. But here's the truth. Eventually that drama card stops working, especially when you're going head-to-head with established icons like Courtney Vandersloot. That's not just risky, it's reckless. Because if you're going to aim at legends, you better hit the target. Vandersloot isn't just another player in the league. She's the definition of consistency, and her resume screams dominance louder than any trash talk ever could.
I don't know, Angel Reese. This is what Courtney Vandersloot had to say. She's firing off. Angel Reese, you got her twisted. She said, contrary to what people think, what people say or think, my age is actually not a factor. I am coming back. This is after Angel Reese said, yeah, Sloot is old. We need somebody young that can do this, that got some experience, but we need somebody young. She too old. I don't know if she can come back from that torn ACL.
We're talking about a 2-time WNBA champion, a 7-time assist champion, and a 5-time All-Star. Her legacy is cemented, her numbers speak for themselves, and her reputation as one of the smartest floor generals in basketball is untouchable. So when Reese fires shots in Vandersloot's direction, the stakes skyrocket. Because she's not just poking at any athlete, she's going after one of the WNBA's most respected leaders. And trust me, that's a move that could backfire in the ugliest way possible. But apparently, Angel Reese didn't get the memo. Or maybe she just didn't care. Out of nowhere, she went public questioning Courtney Vandersloot's toughness, her ability to bounce back from injuries, and even whether the Chicago Sky could still rely on her. That's not just bold, it's borderline reckless, especially coming from a player who's barely stepping into her 2nd season.
Wasn't going for it. And I'm going to tell you right now, Courtney Vandersloot has won a title in Chicago, and she will not be playing with Angel Reese next year. I'm going to tell you that right now. Angel Reese is good as gone. Good as gone.
And here's the real head scratcher. Why now? Why would Reese, at the start of her sophomore year, pick a fight that risks alienating not just a teammate, but one of the most decorated veterans in the entire league? Vandersloot isn't just some role player. She's a proven champion, a survivor of setbacks, and a name carved deep into WNBA history. Reese hasn't even hit 2 full seasons in the league, yet she's already busy throwing shade at one of the most respected floor generals in the game. Vandersloot's story isn't just about winning, it's about grit. After tearing her ACL, she went through brutal rehab sessions, non-stop workouts, and countless interviews, never once hiding her determination to come back stronger. She's lived through it all and proved she could still dominate. So when Reese casually implied that Vandersloot might be washed up, it cut deeper than just trash talk. It was a public slap in the face. And coming from someone who should be learning beside her, it's the kind of shot that fans and teammates won't forget anytime soon. And yet, that's exactly what Angel Reese did. She didn't just whisper about it behind closed doors, she aired it out in an interview right in front of the entire world. Veterans like Courtney Vandersloot could only shake their heads in disbelief, because everyone knows locker room clashes and private frustrations are part of pro sports. But Reese? She skipped the locker room drama and went straight to the press, making sure her shots at Vandersloot echoed across the whole basketball community. She didn't just criticize, she openly questioned the future of a player with Hall of Fame credentials. And let's be real, when you call someone like Vandersloot untrustworthy in the eyes of fans, you're not just being disrespectful. You're playing with the chemistry of the entire team. That kind of public jab doesn't just bruise egos, it risks tearing a roster apart from the inside out. And then came the clapback. Vandersloot didn't dodge, didn't sugarcoat, and sure as hell didn't play politics. Instead, she stared down the question and fired back with confidence. Despite popular belief, my age has no bearing. I'm better than ever when I return. No cryptic subtweets, no shady posts, just a clean, direct counterpunch aimed squarely at Reese. The message was crystal clear. Don't question my legacy, don't question my game.
But she's on video now, and she's made a direct shot. Courtney has answered the shot from Angel Reese. And I got to be honest with you. How much, I'm going to speculate out loud. How much shit was Angel Reese talking in that Chicago Sky locker room last year around Kennedy Carter about Caitlin Clark? All right, think about that a minute. The influence there. I got to tell you, I don't think it was Kennedy Carter that blew that locker room up. I think it was Angel Reese.
Vandersloot turned the heat all the way up, and in doing so, she showed that this wasn't just a spat. This was a battle of respect, and she wasn't about to let anyone write her off. Never doubt my age, and never doubt my career. That was the real weight behind Courtney Vandersloot's words, because she doesn't need to prove anything anymore. Her legacy is already carved in WNBA history, built with blood, sweat, rings, and years of dominance. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is still chasing hers, yet instead of grinding to elevate her own game, she's swinging at a player whose resume she couldn't touch even on her best day. Let's keep it real. Vandersloot has more championships, more playoff wins, and more respect across the league. Reese, sooner or later, is going to have to accept that harsh reality. And here's where the contrast cuts deeper. Take Caitlin Clark. She's also in her second year, just like Reese, and she's under non-stop attack on the court. She's been shoved, fouled, hacked, and harassed game after game. But how does Clark respond? She doesn't run to the media to tear down veterans. She doesn't publicly throw shade at her teammates. Instead, she keeps her head down, stays locked on her team, and fights every night to push Indiana forward. That's the kind of mentality that wins fans over and earns respect in locker rooms. And that's exactly why Vandersloot's point stings. Because when you stack the approaches side by side, Reese looks less like a rising star and more like a player picking fights she can't win. Courtney Vandersloot is out here setting the standard, handling setbacks with dignity and carrying the weight of a franchise on her shoulders. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, she's sparking chaos inside her own locker room instead of leading by example. Remember that infamous half-game benching and suspension? Chicago tried to send a message, but let's be honest, it came off weak. Sitting her for 20 minutes wasn't discipline, it was desperation. A soft tap on the wrist that showed the team doesn't really know how to control its so-called star. And that's where the contrast hits even harder. Vandersloot didn't need to scream, curse, or drag anyone. She simply laid down her truth, backed by years of titles, leadership, and consistency. Her power comes from her resume, not reckless soundbites. Meanwhile, Reese keeps showing her immaturity, talking louder, moving quicker, but proving she's not yet ready to match that same level of poise. At this point, the gap between the two players is crystal clear. One embodies leadership, the other stirs drama. And while Reese's antics raise eyebrows, her fan base has taken things to a whole other level. Instead of defending her with class, many of them have gone after Vandersloot personally, throwing insults, mocking her career, and dragging her name through the mud. That toxic energy only makes Reese look worse, because when your fans are nastier than your game is polished, it says everything about where you really stand in the league's spotlight. It's reckless, it's immature, and in the long run, it's killing Angel Reese's reputation. Like it or not, your fan base is a reflection of you, and when your supporters are quick to trash legends instead of lifting you up, it says a lot about the image you're putting out there. Compare that with Caitlin Clark. Her fans defend her, boost her, and rally behind her without tearing others down. That's the difference between building a brand with respect versus one fueled by drama. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Courtney Vandersloot doesn't need Twitter battles or Instagram rants to prove her worth. Her legacy screams louder than any post ever could. And when she says she's coming back stronger, people actually believe her. That's trust she earned through years of dominance and resilience. Now stack that against Reese. She keeps talking about winning titles, demanding better teammates, and raising Chicago's standard. But how believable is that when she's publicly throwing shade at veterans? It's hard to buy into her vision when the locker room feels more like a reality show than a championship culture. And here's the real kicker. Free agents are watching. Who in their right mind would want to join a team where the supposed star forward openly disrespects the very players who built the foundation before her? No elite athlete is eager to sign up for chaos, and if Chicago can't rein this in, Reese could find herself not just alienating vets, but scaring away the very talent she claims she needs. If I'm a top-tier player looking for a franchise to join, Chicago's front office doesn't exactly scream stability right now. Let's be real, the management isn't innocent here. By letting this feud fester, they created a divided locker room, and that weak half-game suspension only exposed their lack of backbone. Either you hold your star accountable or you stand behind her. But this messy middle ground only made the Sky look weak, distracted, and completely unsure of their direction. And don't get it twisted, Angel Reese can hoop. She's a beast on the boards, a competitor who throws her body into every play and a player with undeniable energy. But in pro sports, talent alone doesn't keep you alive. The moment your drama outweighs your production, you're on borrowed time. Right now, Reese is tiptoeing dangerously close to that line. That suspension didn't just raise eyebrows about her maturity, it raised questions about the Sky's future as a whole. For a high school kid, a half-hearted benching might send a message, but for a professional athlete, it's laughable. The truth is, she was kept on the court to sell tickets, and that kind of discipline is cowardice, not leadership. Meanwhile, Courtney Vandersloot has been showing the league what real leadership looks like for over a decade. You don't stumble into 2 championships and 7 assist titles by luck. You earn it by showing up every night, putting in the work, and holding yourself to a higher standard than anyone else expects. That's the difference between a legend and a headline. When Courtney Vandersloot tore her ACL, she didn't cry foul or point fingers. She put her head down and went to work. She grinded through rehab, fought her way back, and now she's making her return with quiet determination. That's the kind of blueprint Angel Reese could learn from. But let's be real, she doesn't seem interested. Instead, Reese looks more focused on crafting her own narrative through fan wars, bold interviews, and flashy on-court stunts. But here's the problem. When you're only in your 2nd season, with 0 post-season experience, your story has to be built on results. Otherwise, it's all talk with no receipts. And right now, the league is expanding, stars are rising, and Caitlin Clark is pulling thousands of fans into arenas with her game, not her drama. She's elevating the sport while Reese seems determined to hijack the spotlight with theatrics. That's the last thing the WNBA needs. What it craves is maturity, stability, and leaders who can carry the league forward. And Reese, she hasn't shown either just yet. Meanwhile, Vandersloot's clapback wasn't born out of insecurity. It was a calculated move to shut down a narrative that was growing too loud. Her response wasn't defensive, it was commanding, a reminder that she's been here, she's done it, and she's not about to let anyone rewrite her story while she's still on the court. Courtney Vandersloot doesn't need to beg for validation. Her career already screams it. By speaking up, she reminded everyone that in this league, respect isn't handed out. It's earned through sweat, sacrifice, and consistency. And while her legacy stands firm, Angel Reese is now walking a dangerous line. She's risking not just her locker room, but the respect of the league itself. Because here's the harsh truth. Talent gets you noticed, but drama gets you forgotten. We've seen it before. Players who shined for a moment, only to fade into the background because immaturity dragged them down. And unless Reese flips the script soon, her story could follow the same path. A star with all the skills in the world, but none of the longevity to keep her light burning. This isn't just shade, it's a warning shot. And the question is, will Reese listen before it's too late? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you on the next one.